um, to put my trust in Him and know that He is a good God and that fear does not come from Him and that He can cast it out with His perfect love, and to be a little more patient.
Okay, so when you've gotten afraid in the night when you felt helpless, what do?
I start saying the Lord's Prayer. I can't remember it all in the right order. I think I can get most of it in. And just ask Jesus to take away the fear and give me peace and comfort and just a sense of well-being. And He always does.
And what do you think your greatest accomplishment's been? Yours, not your kids.
My greatest accomplishment in life was raising 4 children and seeing each one of them accomplish a great deal in their own ways, and just having them here showing love and concern for me. And the hardest thing now is to think about having to say goodbye to them. But the greatest encouragement with that is that I will see them again because they all love you, and that's the best thing that could ever happen to my family.
And tell me about some of the things you've done in your life in terms of helping people. I remember one of the first things was that I remember is you leading a 4-H group of girls from Albany.
That was very interesting because I always felt that I didn't have any different feelings towards blacks than I did whites. And one night, it seemed like the girls, it was just, this odor was just different. It was a black odor. And I've heard people say that the blacks didn't smell the same. And I came to that conclusion that night. That was really true. But the girls were mostly cooperative and mostly seemed to enjoy learning about Jesus and how to be saved and so on. So I enjoyed doing that. Always enjoyed doing Sunday school and other leadership of children in church.
What did you do with the Vietnamese refugees?
We made arrangements for them to have a place to live if they came in before something was ready for them. They would stay at our house and live there for a little while. And we learned a lot from them, especially when we couldn't speak their language at all. But it was just a good time, a fun time actually. Gave us lots of adventures to remember. And I think it was one thing that helped Diana decide to become a missionary, because we had these different people in our home from time to time.
I remember a couple of the guys that came and stayed with us. Larry.
Well, Larry lived next door, and he stayed with us because his parents were moving, and he wanted to graduate with his class. And I'm not sure. That might not have been the boy next door. Might have been one of Dad's relatives that came to stay with us for a while. But at any rate, we had two different people come and live with us for a while they were working in our area.
And what did you do once you went to Texas?
Roamed the dusty, hot roads looking for aluminum can. And finally felt like we knew some people and could be comfortable at church and start doing things there. Became involved with Wednesday night meals, and it was a good church. Opportunity to pick up pecans and have lots of pecans every year. And we gradually got into the nursing home project that our church had started when the nursing home first opened. They were there for that first Sunday and have been there for every Sunday since then. And
who preached at that nursing home?
We had various people who would preach. I preached a good share of the time for our Baptist part of the service. And then gradually we joined with Church of Christ people. And instead of having two separate services, we had one service that included all of us. And I still did preaching, but usually only once a month.
And what about your work at the soup kitchen?
Well, that was, that covered many, many more years, even than the nursing home, although they were started close to the same time. We went in with a team, I think it was twice a month. And they would be other people from our church. We'd drive down and serve the meals. Sometimes we had to prepare some of the food. The person who started the soup kitchen came in very early in the morning and mixed up a huge batch of soup that would feed the people who would come later for their lunch there. And that was a really fun experience. And most of the time they let me go to the window so I could see the people who were coming through. And sometimes I had an opportunity to talk to them for a minute or two. And I was always able to bless them as they went through.
Nice.
And all of these things were more of a blessing to us than we were to them.
What did you learn from doing these things?
That helping other people makes you feel good. And helping anyone, calling anyone's attention to God always made it worthwhile.
And so what message would you like to send to your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren?
The most important decision that you ever make in your life is to whether to follow Jesus or not. And if you make that decision correctly and decide to follow him, then all of your other decisions will just follow along, because he will guide you into all the other steps that you take, and he will enrich your life each day. He will safeguard you from many things. You won't even know that he saved you from having an automobile accident today, or from being run over by a car tomorrow, or all the things that could cause injury each day. You have no idea how many times he saves you from these things. Once in a while, he lets you know so that you realize he's there watching over you each day. But I've been pretty hard-headed, so it's been hard for me to learn all the lessons he wanted to teach me. Hence, I've had many broken bones, but hopefully I've learned those lessons pretty well.
What are the lessons that he's taught you through your broken bones?
Just that my husband really did love me and care about me, even though there were many times when I didn't think he did. And I had to forget about harsh words that were said in the back. I had to forget about what was said
in the past,
so that everything would go right in the future. And I think it seems like my life, except for this past year, has gotten better and better. And even in this past year, it's still gotten better because all my family have rallied around me and shown me their love in a way that I never really expected would be so strong. And it's just been sort of amazing. So I want to try to trust him for what's going to happen to next. And in the meantime, I often think about a way that I can end this when it gets too tough. But I think he'll give me the strength to do whatever I need to do.
What do you look forward to most in heaven?
Meeting all those people that have already gone on before me. I never had a grandmother. I don't know if she's there or not, but I might find out. And looking forward to all the friends that have already passed on. And looking forward to meeting with all my family again. So choose wisely. Depend on God for guidance. Depend on Jesus as your Savior, but He's a lot more than your Savior. He's your best friend. Whenever you feel depressed or lonely, and think maybe you don't have a friend, He's always there, and He is your friend. So you can depend on Him to always guide you. And so it's just been life has been a really good journey, because it gets better. It's gotten better the longer I live it. So even right now, it's still better because I've learned some things in this last year and kind of deciphered some things out.
What's the biggest thing you deciphered out?
I know that God healed me in the neck area. And then when He let me fall right away after that, I just couldn't figure that out. And then I had 2 more falls. And why did He keep letting me fall. But I was only thinking one thing. I wanted to get back on my feet and walk again. And he knew that that wasn't going to happen, and that the more I exercised, the weaker I get. So put those falls in place to slow me down, hold me back as much as possible. And the last fall was what, was the final decision that I said I won't ever walk again. Won't ever try to walk again. So.
How did you do accepting that?
Well, that was okay. I just always thought I guess, always be able to walk. I mean, I was a walker from day one, I think. I know I couldn't walk when I was 1 day old, but, as soon as I could walk, I started walking a lot. And walked many, many miles in this world. But you don't have to keep walking. So I'm okay. I don't want to leave everybody, but I know you'll come join me. And you'll have many more grandchildren to look forward to. And I know it would be hard for you, but I'll be in a really good place. So just remember that. And be happy there.
Okay, thanks, Mom.
And that gold won't hurt my feet at all.
We love you.
I love all of you.